Go ahead.
Got it. So I'm going to explain what are the various opportunities for clients in Alberta. So I'm going to discuss in detail what are the immigration programs in Alberta. So first of all, I just want to explain what is Alberta Advantage Immigration Programs, which is also known as PNP. We can call it as Alberta PNP. It's become one of the Canada's most popular immigration recruitment program, offering Canadian permanent residency to skilled foreign worker. Alberta immigration programs further divided into 7 programs. They have 7 more streams. Like clients can have 7 different streams to apply for. These are the 7 streams: Alberta Opportunity, Alberta Express Entry Stream, Rural Renewable Stream, Rural Entrepreneur Stream, Graduate Entrepreneur, Farm Stream, Foreign Graduate Streams. So I'm going to discuss one by one. First is Alberta Opportunity Streams. It is just like the all other PNPs. Every province have the PNPs, as we already know. So it's like Alberta PNP. To apply for these streams, a candidate must have a valid work permit. They can have work permit from work permits are of 2 types, like LMI based, and one is post graduation work permit. So for that, in order to apply for these streams, a candidate must have NOC OAB, C and D job. For the NOC OAB, they must have CLB 5 in like you can say IELTS. They must have CLB 5, and for NOC C and D, they must have CLB 4. And as per their education background, they must have minimum high school educations. And for the graduates who graduated from Alberta, they can apply after 6 months of experience in Alberta. But they must have the NOC, OAB, or BC or D jobs. Then they can apply right away after the 6 months of experience. But for the LMI holders, they must have one year of experience in Alberta. If they are not in Alberta, they are in Canada, then they must have 2 years of experience. So next stream is Alberta Express Entry streams. It is further divided into 2 types: General Express Entry candidate streams, Accelerated Tech Pathway candidate streams. First, the General Express Entry streams, it is further divided into 3 categories: Canadian Experience Class, Federal Skilled Trade Programs, Federal Skilled Worker Program. The Canadian Experience Class is same as all the province has. If a student have a 1 year of experience from any province, they can create their profile, and they can get invitation if they are eligible, if they have this proper score like 300 minimum, and then they will, on the basis of their eligibility, their all the things like educations, their IELTS, they can get a invitation from the province. Then once they get the invitations, they will apply for the federal one. So Canadian Experience Class, there are four things which matters, like their qualifications. They must be graduated from the province, or they must have high school, secondary school education. And for the IELTS, if they have higher IELTS score, it will stronger their file. So it's all depend upon the candidate's profiles. So next is Federal Skilled Trade Worker. For these streams, the candidate must need 2 years of experience in skilled trade, must meet NOCs. There are some NOC in this category, like carpenters, truckers, painters, and there are a lot of NOCs in this stream. So a candidate must have job in that stream and must have 2 years of experience, must have certificate of qualifications. If they studied from the province, then they no need to do the west of their programs. Otherwise, if they don't have, they have like they have a bachelor degree or master degree from outside Canada, they have to do the best of the their degrees. So, and they must have CLB 5, and for in order to apply for these streams, they need some funds. There are requirement of funds to apply for these streams. So next one is federal skilled worker programs, which is point based. They must have a candidate must meet 67 point categories, and they must have a NOC OAB job. C and D doesn't fall in this category. So they must have 1 year of experiences in on NOC OAB job, must have CLB 7 and minimum high school of educations, and this stream also need funds. So a candidate must have a required fund to apply for this field. And the second one is accelerated tech pathway. It's same like the Canadian experience class, but the for this to apply for this stream, a candidate must have specific job. In this pathway, all the jobs are related to IT, accountancy. Yeah, we have a list of the NOCs which fall for this stream. So a candidate must have job in that stream or that NOC only. The next one is rural renewal streams. The rural renewal streams help to recruit and retain immigrants from all over the world and settle them in rural Alberta. In order to apply for this stream, a candidate must have a full-time job offer from the Alberta employer and must have a NOC code, which should be OABC, and must have CLB 5 or higher, and must have a high school certificate. A candidate must have 1 year of experience in the NOC, must have sufficient fund. In order to apply for these streams, a candidate must have an endorsement letter from the province. So before applying for these streams, they must have the endorsement. The next one is rural entrepreneur stream. These streams will bring immigrant entrepreneur to rural Alberta communities to start businesses that will help the economy recover and expand. In order to apply for these streams, a candidate must have a full-time job offer from the Alberta employer. For these streams, they can either apply from within Canada or from outside Canada. If they are from outside Canada, they must have in both the cases, they require the full-time job offer from the Alberta employer, and they must have NOC OAB job and CLB 5 or higher. For the NOC C and D, they need CLB 4, and they must have high school diploma or certificate. And in order to apply for this stream, as it is business related stream, so they must have 3 years of experience with an active business, 4 year of experience as a senior manager. For example, like if someone is applying from outside Canada, he or she must be in an active business from last 3 years. So if they don't, or either is the case, like they may have a 4 year of as a senior manager experience, they can also apply for that. And they must have minimum net worth of $300,000 and minimum investment of $200,000. Must own at least 51% of business, and their partner should be a Canadian citizen or PR. And they must create one full-time job. Like if they already have a business here in Canada, they must have one full-time job employee, which should be a Canadian citizen or PR. Next one is graduate entrepreneur stream. Foreign graduate entrepreneur streams allow foreign graduate who would like to launch their startup business in Alberta, apply for permanent residency from outside Canada. This is for those who are foreign graduate and want to start a business here in Canada. For that, they must have 2 years of full-time degree or diploma from educational institute in Alberta. Post-graduation, this is for those who are here in Canada, have a degree from Canada and want to start a business here in Canada. They can apply for for their PR through this program. So they must have post-graduation work permit for at least 2 years, CLB 7, they must have post-secondary diploma or degree, at least 6 months actively managing or owning a business. They must have, their business must be a 6-month old in order to apply for PR under this stream. So at least 34% ownership of a new or existing business in Alberta. If they have business in Alberta, they must have 34% of ownership in that business. Next one is farm stream. This stream allows experienced agriculture entrepreneur to immigrate to Canada and obtain permanent residency. It's like the express entry. You have to create the profile and upload it. If you meet all the requirements, then you will get the invitation. So you must have the experience in farm. So 2 years of experience you need, at least 500,000 equity you need, and net worth must be $500,000. And investment from Canadian institution, there should be an investment from Canadian institute, and you must have a written proof for that to apply for this stream. Next one is foreign graduate entrepreneur streams. These are for those who are graduated from foreign countries and who want to start up their business in Alberta. So this stream is for them. Foreign graduate streams allow foreign graduates who would like to launch their startup in Alberta apply for permanent residency from outside of Canada. Applicant will have to work with a designated agency that will issue a letter of recommendations, which will need to be submitted with the expression of interest to the province. So for this, they need CLB 7 degree from a post-secondary institute outside Canada within the last 2 years. 6 months of full-time work experience of managing or owning a business or equivalent. 10 minutes, they have to give the presentation for 10 minutes in order to apply for this stream. At least 34% ownership should be there for the candidate. Like a candidate should be the owner of 34% of share of that company, the company which he want to start up in Canada. And at least $100,000 or $50,000 they need a cash. Like if they want to start their business in an urban center, they must have $100,000, and if it's in a regional area, then they just need $50,000. And they need letter of recommendations. Funds also needed to set for this stream. Sorry. So these were the seven streams, but we have one more programs here for the one who wants to start their business here in Alberta, which is called Startup Business Programs. For that, they must have designated organizations. Like if a customer want to start a business here, they must have a plan, like what kind of business they are going to operate here in Canada. They must have to evaluate their business. Like here in Canada, there are some agencies who will evaluate their business. Like if they have a business plan, so the companies will evaluate like are they viable or not. Once if their business is viable, they will obtain a letter of support. And for that, their business should fulfill the requirement for ownership. For these requirements, they must have for this requirement, 1 or up to 5 individual can apply for the ownership. Like it's like if one person want to open and he wants to distribute his share with other persons, like up to 5 persons collectively apply for a single business. In this business, each owner must have 10% of voting right. All the applicant and the designated organization should altogether hold 50% of the right to vote. For the language proficiency, they must have CLB 5 and must have sufficient funds to start their business here in Alberta. And that's all from my side. Thank you.